first of all, it's really cool that both of you guys are playing on stage at the same venue. That's awesome.
That is awesome. We've been trying to do that for a lot of years, I think, and so thanks to Greensky for having us out, and it's good to get the two bands together for sure.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's some stories. I'm sure there's stories about being on the road together and the bands, maybe.
Only like 20 years of stories, but
No.
I know. Yeah, the stories prior to this tour are actually pretty exciting. This one's been fairly tame.
Yeah.
But
We've been busy playing music.
Yeah, been busy playing music. It's good to see, it's great to get to see Greensky and Anders with them and his sounds and everything. It's cool to see different styles and somebody, who's in a band that's like taking music far and what you're doing with it. It's, Anders has got a unique thing on the instrument,
So Anders, why don't you maybe just briefly go over some of the electronics and what you are doing on stage with signal processing. I know you have a unique approach to that.
Yeah, I mean, I love talking about this stuff because I think it's so cool. And it's been really fun, like, trying to make the dobro do these different, make new sounds out of it, right? But I think on this instrument, the most important part to make it sound differently and be able to make weird sounds on it is this pickup right here, this Lawler pickup, right? That's
right.
The Lawler pick.
The Silverfoil.
This Silverfoil right there, that thing. So this switch controls between the Fishman pickup on here, which is the regular, dobro pickup that pretty much everyone uses, and then there's a middle switch where you can have both. And when it's not plugged in, obviously it's not going to tell you anything. But and then this is all the way on this pickup, so it's essentially kind of an electric guitar at that point,
right?
And then you got volume control and tone control for that here. But with this pickup on here, I can literally stand in between like two of the loudest drummers in the world on stage and not feedback, which is like game changer for dobro. But also it sounds really cool, and you can with that pickup you can go through a lot of different effects and hit essentially electric guitar pedals, and I go to an amp on stage, switch to this pickup and go into an amplifier with like a kind of pretty shreddy sound, and like that's the whole deal with that. But being able to not feedback is what's so important to me with this thing. But I mean, what we've done building this to get to this point is freaking awesome. Like I feel really proud of what we've done with this. With the idea of this guitar, I think it's really cool.
So Andy, talk about that a little bit. On your guitar, you certainly primarily use Foster Bronze, it looks like, and that's in combination with the Fishman Nashville pickup.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, a little more simple and sort of set up with mine. I mostly play with just like the dobro tone, and I will use some effects. Here and there, but mostly the things like reverb or delay that aren't necessarily changing the tone. So a lot of what I've tried to do with this going through like a big PA is just try and get the tone as beefy and like just awesome and responsive and epic as possible. And, this pickup in the Aura and this the beard guitar, I mean, that's the best you could possibly do. It sounds amazing, Can
you define what you mean by like you keep saying the word responsive?
Yeah.
I'm curious what you mean by that.
Yeah. That's a bit of that word is a bit amorphous, but it's super important to me. It's what I experience when I play a note. You want to retain as much of the responsiveness, the way that when you pluck a note or hit the bar, you expect certain things to happen, certain sounds to happen. And if they don't happen like you expect, then it's harder to play, So, and getting that responsiveness that I like from acoustic to the plugged in is a trick. And it involves, a lot of experimentation and certainly the right pickup, the right instrument, the Aura, all are like the biggest parts of it, but also just, what our monitor engineer does with the tone, or what other tone things I might have on my pedal board,
I think we probably are the two dobro players that I can think of that play the loudest, like in our gig, Like, not like saying we play louder, but it's like what we do. But like big rock places, right? And it's a beast at times to get the dobro that loud, and shout out to all of our engineers, to get the dobro that loud and still sound like we were talking about that responsiveness or whatever, get it that loud and really be able to
your bus
still be good. Oh, here's our bus. Bye.
My question is, does that happen a lot?
Often, more often, usually at 5 in the morning. But yeah.
But yeah, the responsiveness is what is so important for me. Like, you know, and like I said, I can get that with this, but it takes a lot of work. It takes your work and what, you know, building the instrument, the pickup, Fishman, the aura, our engineers. It takes a lot of focus and talented people to get this to, like you say, sound big and loud and responsive and good, in a big rock club or through a PA. And so that's sort of the key. And you know, Paul, your stuff, you're the premier builder that understands that and understand, you know, obviously with what you've done with Anders and his instrument, and or just something a little more simple like this, you know, being able to get, you know, make an amazing sounding instrument that you can use in any situation really, and not really, almost no other builders think that way. So, you know, kudos to you, because it's,